Hi, I'm Justin from Warren, and today I'm going to go through my hunting pack. This would be my day pack. We get some questions every now and then from people about what would you carry in a pack for a first-time hunter or people who are new to it. So I'm going to touch briefly on some of the gear that I carry. We're located in Oregon. This would be what I'm going to be carrying next week for deer, in fact. First, I would start out, this is my bino harness. This one's made by Marsupial gear. There's a lot of really good bino harnesses out there, so find one that works for you. This one works really well for me. Some of the basic stuff that I carry on the outside that's an easy reach. A radio. If you hunt with other people, these are nice to have. Streamlight flashlight. This is my emergency flashlight that's right there in case I need it. Easy for reading maps or looking at other stuff under light, and then you don't have to dig into your pack for a headlamp. On the other side, I have a pouch for a rangefinder. In this case, this one is a Vortex. I think this one's the Ranger. This is the Ranger 1000, and it's an easy reach. The binos that I'm using are made by Maven, and these are some of their B2 series binoculars. These are an 11 by 45, and they have a mount on the front for mounting to an outdoorsman's tripod mount, which I'll get to later, which is in my pack. The rifle that I'm using is the rifle I use in most circumstances. This is a Winchester Model 70 featherweight. This one's one of their limited edition dark maple stainless models. It's a 30-06, and it is topped with a Leupold VX3I 2.5-8 scope. This has a pair of our Vapor two-piece bases and some of our Mountain Tech rings. Inside the pack, again, this is my day pack. So a lot of people will run different setups depending on what kind of hunting they're doing. This would be considered a little bit large for some people who carry a very small day pack, but where I'm hunting, if you shoot something and it goes down in a nasty spot and you have to pack it out, I like just having this pack with me anyway, because your first trip out, you can be carrying some meat with you. This is a Mystery Ranch Teraframe 50. And the way that I would pack my pack is the things that I need to access constantly, that I'm getting out of my pack and putting back throughout the day, are going to be located in positions in the pack that are easy to get to and they're easy to store away. So the top pouches will carry items like my GPS and the tripod adapter for the binoculars that I mentioned earlier. I think that's all I have in one of these pouches. I have this in here right now, but this is actually the knife that I'd be wearing on my belt. Not exactly a hunting knife. This is a Benchmade Bushcraftor. I keep this more as a emergency knife if I need it. I always keep predator call. This is a dying rabbit call. You never know when you run into coyotes or a cougar or bear or something you want to call. I also keep an elk call. During deer season, it's nice to have. It can cover some of your noise that you're making as you're moving through the woods. You can blow this every now and then if you're being particularly noisy. I keep a pair of gloves. This knife is a Outdoor Edge. This is one of their replaceable blades. This one's the 3.0 Razorlight EDC. And this is the knife that I would actually use on processing a game animal. And the replaceable blades are really nice. I carry one spare blade with me for like a deer. The replaceable blades are really nice. You don't have to sharpen them. They stay razor sharp. Just replace the blade as you're working through an animal. I keep a headlamp and then some spare batteries, as well as a battery pack. Here in Oregon, we can do e-tagging, and I do e-tagging. And if your phone dies when you're out in the woods, you don't have a way to tag your animal, and it is on you as a hunter. So I carry an extra battery pack. Again, I keep all of these items in this top pouch just because they are easy to get to, and I'm going in and out of this all day long sometimes. Off the side of the pack, I have a tripod. For this hunt, I'm probably going to be in more open country. If I'm in denser forested area, I probably won't take the tripod, but it's nice to have when you're in the open country and you can hook your binos into it. Can hook your binos into it, and then for spots where you're going to be spending a lot of time on your binoculars and glassing a big open area, having the tripod that you can set up and sit down is a nice thing to have. But I don't always carry the tripod. The tripod is probably the heaviest thing in the pack that I'm carrying along, so it's worth the weight when I need it. But again, if I'm in a forested area or a very dense area, I don't take the bipod or the tripod. One more thing on the outside of my pack is I do have a cut piece. This is a sleeping pad. It's just a thermarest. And I take this as a glassing pad, especially if it's snowy or if it's really cold or wet. You could throw this down first, and it keeps that cold from getting up into you while you're sitting for a long period of time glassing. And I just slip this actually behind the pack itself and the frame. Getting inside the pack, I organize it in the same way as I would the outside of the pack. So the items that I need to get to frequently are going to be toward the top. The items that I use less frequently are going to be at the bottom. The very top, I have a rain jacket. In a stuff sack, I keep a puffy jacket. That way I can layer throughout the day and I know where all this stuff is inside. I have my game bags. I don't know which ones these are. I think these are fabric rewashable game bags I picked up somewhere. And then at the very bottom, I have my survival kit. And this just has emergency items, space blanket, paracord, fire starter. I keep some zip ties, hand warmers, basic survival stuff that everybody should be carrying on them when they're in the woods. And then for hydration, I keep I think this is a 2-liter hydration bladder. I sometimes will carry an additional water bottle in one of the side pouches if it's really, really hot out, but most of the time that hydration bladder is enough for one day. And the last thing in the pack, another critical item that everybody should have if you're in the woods, especially if you're by yourself, is a medical kit. In this case, this one's a My Medic med kit, and it's got everything that I need for myself while I'm in the woods. And then, of course, like I mentioned earlier, this pack can be used for packing out meat. All these straps come apart. The bag separates from the frame, and you can carry quite a bit of weight on it. So you can at least come out with something on your back. And that's just one of the setups that you can run. This may not work for everybody, but it works for me, at least during deer season.